we came running over here, and this is near a daycare in the Texaco gas station. Look behind me. This vehicle almost submerged in water here. There were 2 people inside. So one guy was able to get out and come flag us down. If you live in these neighborhoods, stay indoors for now. You are flooded. It is hard to see out here. A couple of guys came around, they were waving us down. They said, we need help because an hour ago, a tree just destroyed their mobile home and their Jeep vehicle. People behind me are hoping that the gas pumps open soon, but for right now, we've been hearing about some crazy stories. We've heard some people are, quote, trying to bootleg gas, trying to sell gas on the street through their tanks. As the students were entering the school, all of their backpacks were being checked. They're also going through a security checkpoint. They're being wanded for any type of metal. So they are upping security throughout this area. As far as that shooting goes, the shooter's not been caught. JSO still looking for the gunman. We're starting with breaking news that comes out of Clay County. In the past hour, we've learned deputies arrested a 9th grader who's believed to be behind the threats over at Oakleaf High School. Investigators now say a woman killed her son and her mother before taking her own life. Now to the bombings in Texas, where a string of package bombings are plaguing the state. A 5th and 6th package bomb was found yesterday. Circling back to Halloween, if you ever felt like you just can't stop eating that candy? Like all the time, chocolate, 2 chocolate, then like you eat them all. Well, it turns out there's a scientific reason for that.
Do not eat.
So
it's
everything
for the
that
cut.
comes into our newsroom that we try to use as props, it's really difficult to let it sit without being eaten.
So
And there
this
you
is
Go.
Jenga Twizzlers.
You guys are so scripted and stuff, and you do these tours. Do you ever go a little off script sometimes?
Well,
Don't
look at me. Don't say that. I wish I could do more.
You've been looking and searching.
For?
Where is spring? Where? Where is it?
You know, we're about 10 degrees cooler than where we should be.
There is a crash blocking the right shoulder just before you hit Roosevelt Boulevard. This one's causing some minor delays as you're coming off of the bridge. A lot of that traffic slowing down as you're trying to approach Roosevelt Boulevard. You can see the road rangers are on the scene. Traffic is at a standstill all the way back to the South Side Connector. So as you're traveling westbound from the South Side Connector, you're at 7 miles an hour getting towards University. As you're trying to approach the Matthews Bridge, you're down to just 2 miles an hour. Heading northbound, you're only moving about 4 miles per hour. Southbound, we're seeing some onlooker delays, traffic moving around 13 miles per hour. You need to head out the door at least 20 minutes early. Here's a look at the scene right now. You can see that SUV that was overturned is now on the tow truck. In 2005, the library's materials budget was $5.3 million. About half of that is next year's proposed budget. Last year, the road rangers responded to nearly 12,000 disabled vehicles, 4,600 wrecks, and more than 2,500 flat tires. 1 out of every 5 people are food insecure in Jacksonville. That fundraiser won't take place here at the Jacksonville Landing. You can see behind me the Chicago Pizza as well as the game room remains closed. The cease and desist order is still on the window.
Ground is caving in. It's really dangerous.
Sonia Shelton has lived in the Cedar Hills community for over 40 years and says this storm drainage ditch next door has been causing a lot of frustration.
This house floods, the house across the street floods, and my house floods because this water has nowhere to go.
These pictures show what Shelton and her neighbors deal with every time a storm passes, the ground disappearing under the floods. After constant complaints, she says the city came out and installed a brick wall last year to keep the water from spilling over. 2 months later, she noticed it began to sink.
I've been calling the city nonstop. These bricks have dropped down. The water has nowhere to go. It's going over the wall.
The stormwater appears to create a new runoff pattern, causing the land and dirt surrounding the storm drain to collapse. Right now, the hole's a little over 5 feet deep, and that's about the height that I am. Not to mention, it's only steps away from a JEA utility pole.
It frustrates me a whole lot. I've been calling them nonstop, sending pictures, and it's just getting a little dangerous.
Shelton says these barriers the city recently put out aren't helping.
We had a child fall in the other day, and we pulled him out, and sometimes their barriers fall in.
Shelton says the fact that she lives next to a storm drain doesn't bother her, but she wants the city to fix the problem.
I just want this taken care of, because I'm scared. It's scary for all of us here in this neighborhood.
Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station.
Imagine walking out your front door to this. Piles of trash flooding the parking lot outside the garbage compactor.
It's appalling and it stinks. This is disgusting. This is gross.
The people living here at Sonoma Southside condominiums complain the trash hasn't been picked up in more than a week, and it just continues to pile up. They're concerned about rodents endangering their health. Gloves on, groundskeeper Terry Mims has to clean up the mess.
They should call somebody else, at least to help me.
Mims has worked here a little less than a year. He says the trash has never been this bad.
Ain't no telling what you'll find in here.
Dozens of open garbage bags, mattresses.
I think that's a piece to a car.
He says the trash usually gets picked up every 2 weeks, but things got out of hand. He can't even access the trash compactor to see whether it's full or not.
There's probably no trash in the compactor. Like, once the pile starts, people just keep piling and piling.
For a little over a week, trash has been piling up here, and the residents just want it gone. But they also tell me this isn't the only issue they're having at this condo.
People here tell me they've been dealing with leaky roofs and mold. Tarps still cover nearly every building since September when Hurricane Irma hit. Neither the landlord nor the corporate office would comment. Residents tell me it's been a constant problem, their voices not being heard.
This is disrespectful to the people who pay to live out here.
As for Mims,
I can't even move it, it's so heavy.
he says management may try to get some dumpsters to hold the trash in the meantime. Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station.
I walked in, and I haven't moved anything since it happened, and this is what I walked into.
Jessica Washington's Wood Hollow apartment off Atlantic and Hodges was ransacked. Her purse still lies on the floor, everything emptied out.
I noticed my TV was gone, and that's when I immediately knew someone had been here.
While Washington was at work Friday, she says someone broke into her apartment and got away with all of her electronics, including 2 TVs, one mounted on the wall, a tablet, and a laptop. And the crooks were thorough.
All the cabinets and drawers were left open like they were looking for something. They dumped out all my drawers, underwear, socks, everything. Dumped everything out. They moved my mattress.
The burglar was able to break the lock on the sliding glass door and get in.
I know I'm not the most observant person when it comes to so I keep going through my head like, did I miss something? Did I see something?
After Jessica reported the burglary, her apartment managers came and replaced the locks on the sliding glass door. But what surprised her the most, they offered this piece of wood as an added safety measure. Something that our crime and safety analyst Gil Smith says can help keep the thieves out.
Now, what a lot of people do is they'll take a pole or a rod and put it down in the tracks on the floor. When burglars see that, they don't even try to break in because they know even if they break the lock, they can't open that door without smashing the window.
As for Washington, that's not enough to give her peace of mind.
It just makes you feel really violated and just uncomfortable because it went further than just taking stuff. They touched all of my stuff. They went through my drawers, they went through my closet. My bathroom, just all the stuff most personal to me.
For now, she says she won't be staying here. She's fighting to get out of her lease and find another place to live. Crystal Moyer, Channel 4, the local station.